Hi there and welcome. Generally speaking, in yoga, we think of back bends and things that are kind of upright, especially anything that's sort of open across this upper chest area, as being more energizing. Um, other things can be energizing, like if you guys have ever been in class when handstands are being done, handstands very energizing. Like all of a sudden the room gets really kind of animated and the volume level goes up and it's like ah. But back bends also tend to have this uplifting effect. And I think part of it is like a like our posture is a messenger. Our posture messages our body. And so when we sit like this, and sometimes it's just like that's the comfortable landing spot, and maybe we're on our screens or in our cars or whatever we're doing that sort of we kind of fall into this posture. Just the act of like lifting up and opening up the front of the chest can start to message the body like, oh, look at that. I'm just 1% happier or more alert or awake. So see, it's a little bit of it's a little bit of fake it till you make it. So there's a behavioral researcher, Amy Cuddy is her name, Cuddy, and she has this great TED talk about a study that was done using a behavioral science study that was done using grad students, of course. They're the greatest source of information and study participants. And what they did was they looked at posture. And this is where the idea of power posing comes in. And they chose a couple different physical positions for the students to be in. And they would be in these different body positions. And then they would have a stressful event. And in this case, it was like a simulated job interview. And the interviewer would then assess like how they appeared, like what their performance was like and their confidence. And the poses that they had them do is one set of poses was all like arms crossed over, legs crossed, kind of curled in, small. And the other set of poses were considered, their theory was that these would be maybe more powerful. And one is like the Wonder Woman stance, right? Feet wide, hands on hips, powerful. The other is like the executive stance. It's feet up on a desk, leaning back with the arms out like that. And so if you think of like someone who's very comfortable in their environment, very confident, these are the body positions that we might associate with them. And what they found was that the body position that the participants were in had an effect on how they performed in the stressful situations. And so if they took a few minutes to do the power poses before the mock interview, they scored better in the interview. They appeared more confident. Their cortisol levels were lower than if they were in one of the lower power, if you will, postures. So our body positioning can message us and kind of tell our nervous system, oh, I'm feeling okay, or I'm not feeling okay. I'm in danger, or I'm safe. So let's use a little bit of that to our own benefit today. And we'll start with a soft, gentle version of a back bend, which in yoga is considered uplifting. And for this, you'll want to have either a yoga blanket or a towel or something like that. So grab that. Hang on just one second. I'm going to tip the screen, but I'll be right back. There we go. I just needed to fix my connection there for a sec. All right. So now, oh, you can also do this with 2 blocks. That is another option. So Option one, the blanket version, I'll show both and then you can decide which you like, is to roll up a blanket, and it might be halfway, it might be most of the way. If you don't have a blanket handy, roll up your mat. You can do it the same thing over it. And the roll catches you right at shoulder blade height, so that when you're coming up and over it, it lifts the chest and creates a back bend. If it feels like it's too much, then you can always unroll the blanket some until it's at the level that you want. And I'll tilt the screen in just a sec, but just so that you know, as you come into this, your upper back comes down. So if your shoulders are up and your head is lifted, that's not the back bend. You want that sense that the chest is lifted and then the arms and the shoulders and the head can settle down. If your chin is up, if you're looking toward the back of the room, then you might add a little bit of lift underneath the head. And then option two, if you want to do it with blocks, there we go, is take a lower block or a block set to the lower height and a block set to a taller height. You could do low, medium, or you can do, in this case, I've got medium and high. As long as the taller block is behind you. And this is one of those things that doesn't look comfortable, but should feel more comfortable than it appears. And again, I'm going to kind of wriggle here so I feel like I really can feel my shoulder blades are right on the block. Since these are wood, I feel it very, very definitively, right? There's no question. And then you adjust the top block so that it supports the head. And same thing here. The legs are however you want them. And breathe. So choose whichever way you want to start setting up. As long as there's a sense of space, expansion across the upper chest, and the head and the neck are taken care of, they're not in a position that feels aggravating. So settle in there and breathe. And take a moment to check in. Tune into the rhythm of the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Let the lower body settle. Feel the space in the front body, allowing the abdomen to rise and fall. As you breathe, notice the space across the upper chest. Gentle breath in and out. Take a few more breaths right here. You can keep time with the kind of tick in the music. Let the breath flow in. Let the breath flow out. Now slowly, gently, use your arms and press up off the support that you're on and head over to one side. You might sit up for a moment, especially if you've got the blocks. Move the blocks or the blanket out from underneath you. Come onto your back. And as you lie down now, flatter, just notice how the back feels. Observe. Take a few breaths, checking in here. When you're ready, draw both knees into the chest. Draw the knees in, rock side to side. Easy with the neck, let the head roll. Then arms out wide, and the knees go to one side. They don't touch the ground. Draw the navel in, take the knees up and over to the other side. And just like that, side to side. Come back to center. Right knee hugs in. Left leg stretches out long on the mat. The heel comes all the way down to the mat. Pull the right knee in. Push the left heel away. Check in with the neck, the jaw, the shoulders. Left hand to the right knee. Right arm off to the side, rock a little bit, turn this into a gentle twist. Where does the right arm want to reach to create some spaciousness across the right side of the upper chest? Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And come back to center, both knees into the chest, and switch legs. And here again, we start in neutral, pulling the left knee in, pushing the right heel away. Even as you do that, check in with the back of the neck, the jaw. So there are muscles in the upper back that are working. Can we balance the effort of that push-pull with some ease in the neck and the jaw? Now right hand takes the left knee, the other arm goes out to the side, rock into a spinal twist. Take a few breaths here. Reaching the left arm at any angle now that feels like it gives some space to the left side of the chest, lungs. So there's a little bit, sometimes we discourage a back bend when we're twisting. In this case, let the heart lift. Breathe into the space across the upper chest, all the way out to the ends of from the collarbones, out to the ends of the collarbones and the shoulders. Inhaling and exhaling here. Then exhale your way back to center. Hug the knees in. With the knees together, make circles in the air. Reverse direction. Bring your knees into the chest and stretch the legs up. Now, with the legs up in the air, there can be a bend in the knees. It's perfectly fine. Take care of your hamstrings. If they're getting a lot of stretch, aim for bending the knees so the legs can be more vertical overall. And then start to circle. Circle your feet around. Go the other way. And come to center, rock over to one side, and flip yourself over. We'll meet up in hands and knees in tabletop. And place the hands underneath your shoulders. Shrug your shoulders down. And glide your hips back. Glide your hips back, reach your arms forward, breathe here. Inhale and exhale, feel the length and the back stretch. Breathe into your low back while you're here. And then curl yourself up, find tabletop again. While we're in tabletop, arch and round the spine. Pull the heart forward right through the gate of the shoulders. And then on an exhale, lift the navel and press the floor away with your hands. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Exhale, lift the navel, round your spine, just like that. Return to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes underneath. And as you exhale, pull the navel in. Pull the belly button into the spine and lift your hips, lift your knees. Breathe. Downward facing dog. In this first down dog, take time. You might lean the hips to one side, then to the other side. You might bicycle pedal the feet in place. You might turn the head and find your way in. Say good morning to your down dog. Now settle into place. Press your palms evenly into the mat. Lengthen the spine up. And then bring the attention to the tops of the thighs and lengthen. Like the tops of your thighs are being tugged backward in a way that makes your spine that much longer. Now let's mush them all together. Bend the knees, slowly, lightly touch the knees down. Uncurl your toes, drop back into child's pose. Inhale, shift forward, tabletop. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, lift the hips and knees. Just like that. Inhaling, knees lightly touch down. Exhaling, child's pose. Inhaling, tabletop again. Exhaling, downward facing dog.
Just like that with the rhythm of your breath. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing. The next time that we come to down dog, stay right there. From your downward facing dog, take your right knee to your nose and shift forward into plank, the top of a push-up. Then take your leg back behind you in down dog. Exhale, knee to chest, push-up. Inhale, lift the leg behind you, down dog. This time, as the foot comes through, walk it through, scooch it, squiggle it. Bring your right foot to the front and lower your left knee down to the back. Breathe while you're here. Bring your hands to your thighs, the front thigh rather, not both thighs. That would be challenging. Zip up your belly, lift your heart, lengthen your spine. From here, inhale and add a back bend. So as you're lifting your navel to the spine, also lift your chest, lift your gaze as much as you want, and reach skyward. Then on the exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, lift your navel, lift your heart, reach to the sky. Exhale, lower your arms. Inhale, lift, reach, back bend. Exhale, lower the arms. Now, as you come up in the back bend, reaching to the sky, bring your hands behind your head. Take the elbows out wide. Then swing the elbows in close. While you're lifting your navel and your chest, press the back of your head into your hands, into your interlaced fingers, and point your elbows toward the ceiling in front of you. So you're pressing the back of the head into the hands, pointing your elbows up at the sky. Now see if you can stay in that position with your spine, with your head, and lightly reach the arms up overhead. Notice if you're in a different position than when we did this before. Very slowly, gently, bring the hands down. Tuck the toes underneath on the back leg. Raise your back knee. Step the right foot back. Find your down dog. You might lean a little, pedal the feet a little, then settle in. Settle into your downward facing dog, evenly pressing the hands and the feet. Pull the left knee into the chest, come into a push-up. Raise the leg behind you, inhale. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Inhale, reach your leg up and back. This time, step the left foot through. Stay there with the left foot forward and lightly touch the right knee down. Walk your hands up to the thigh. Breathe. Find your vertical here. Lift the navel in and up. Lengthen the spine. And let's add the arms. Inhale, raise the arms. Find a little back bend here. The belly button is still pulling in really the whole time. And lower the arms. Inhale, raise the arms. Abs are still on as we back bend and reach up. Exhale, lower the arms. Of course, abs are still on here. And this time we raise the arms, we stay. Lift the navel. Bend the elbows. Interlace the fingers behind your head. Take the elbows out wide to the sides. How wide can they go? Can the elbows feel like they're starting to come behind you? And then swing your elbows forward.
Press the back of your head into your interlaced fingers. Lift your navel. Lift your heart. Lift your elbows. Press the back of the head into your hands lightly, right? Don't go bananas. And then release. Ever so lightly release the arms. You'll release the whole pose. Get the best is yet to come. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take another inhale and then exhale. Lower the arms. Touch the hands down. Tuck your right toes underneath, lifting the back knee. Step the left foot back, and we are back in downward facing dog. Press into your hands. Lengthen the spine. Tops of the thighs up and back. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Now raise the right leg up and back. Inhale. Pull the knee in and step all the way through. Just one round through. Bring the back knee down and inhale, raise the arms. Sort of mushing together what we just did slowly. Bring the hands down, tuck the toes underneath, back knee lifts and step back. We're in downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg comes up. Bend the knee, step all the way through. Lightly touch your back knee down. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands back on the mat. Tuck the toes under, lift the back knee, step back, and we are in down dog again. Press the hands evenly, lengthen your spine. Tops of the thighs are lifting up and back, but most of all, breathe. Most of all, breathe. From here, round your upper back as you shift forward into plank to the top of a push-up. You may need to squiggle the feet back a little bit if you want more room. Bring your knees down. Slowly lower the rest of your body all the way down on your mat. Uncurl your toes. And let's come into forearms on the mat. Take up some space. So we're not trying to squeeze our forearms in and fit them on the mat. It's more like cactus arms. So cactus arm preparation for Sphinx. Make your cactus arms, palms are down, face down on the floor. Now, let's loop back down to the feet and the legs. What's happening down there? Reach your big toes straight back. The muscles of the legs, they're all hugging in around the bones. The glutes are hugging in and supporting you, and the pubic bone is moving down toward the mat. Draw your navel toward your spine so the whole lower body, although it is not moving anywhere, is really engaged and ready. Now, imagine your cactus arms were going to pull back on the floor, but they're not actually going anywhere. There's just a feeling that there's resistance there, right? It's an isometric activity here. Peel your forehead up. Let the curve come into your neck. Start to peel your chest up, and still you're pulling the floor backward with your hands. And then slowly come down. Now let's change the arm position. Lift your elbows off the mat, come up to your fingertips. Again, legs active, glutes on, belly zipped up. And peel your chest up. Bring the curve into the neck. Bring the curve into the upper back. And now press with the fingertips a little bit so the chest can lift a bit higher. And slowly lay yourself down. Imagine getting longer as you lower down. Good. Now, third variation. Your hands will go behind the head with the elbows up off the floor. Lift the elbows as much as they'll willingly go off the floor. And for the first round, we'll just do the arm movement without lifting the head. And it's like a face down snow angel. Arms go out to the sides and they reach behind you. I like to turn the palms in toward each other as the arms are reaching back. And then out to the side again. And the fingers lightly touch the head. Now you can have the fingers on the back of the head or more to the front, like around the temples. That's up to you. See what your shoulders say yes to. And let's do this a few times from the face down position, not moving the spine, just the arms. Zipped up belly, active legs. Reach your arms out to the sides and around the back. Out to the sides, bend the elbows, and back to the head. One more time like that. Now, with the hands lightly, they're not trying to push the head down. The fingertips are lightly resting there. Zip up the belly, peel the head up, lifting the head and the chest. Now make your snow angel arms in the air, around the back, out to the side, and to the front again. Just like that. Glutes are on. Bring your hands down. In, press the floor with the palms. Inhale, lift up, maybe a little extra this time. And exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes underneath. Hands press the floor. And slowly make your way back up. We'll take child's pose. Stretching out the back body. Breathing here. One of the ways that we can help support our posture, especially that open-hearted, standing up tall posture. Well, one way is stretch the front, like we did in the beginning of class. But the other way is strengthen the back. So the muscles in the upper back build the strength to contract and hold us in the upright position. And really what we're after is, can we move the spine in all the different ways that it can move? Walk the hands over to one side, side bending in child's pose. Breathe in between the ribs. Check in with the neck. As deep a breath as you can. Walk to the other side. Side bending to the other side. And send the breath in between the ribs on the side that's stretching. And walk the hands back in. Slowly come up to tabletop. Tuck the toes underneath. Downward facing dog. Breathe here. Find your down dog. Get the hands and the feet organized. Press evenly with the left and the right side. All right, now
This next round, there will be the option to step forward and leave the back knee raised as we come into crescent pose. You can always leave the back knee down and repeat what we did just a little earlier. It is your practice. It is your choice. Take the right leg up and back behind you. Bend the knee and step through. From here, either bend your knee and start to come up into crescent, or bend the knee until it touches the mat and do the low lunge version. Zip up the belly. Lift your heart. Breathe in. And slowly, gently come back down. Step the right foot back. Lower your knees, come all the way down onto your belly. Cobra pose. Uncurl your toes, hands alongside the chest. Inhale, peel the heart up. Exhale, lay the chest back down. Tuck the toes underneath. Press the floor away, make your way back to downward facing dog. Organize the hands and feet. Relax your neck. Inhale, raise your left leg up and back. Exhale, step it all the way through. Back knee bends, and we come up to crescent, or back knee touches down, coming up into a low lunge. Breathe. Breathe. Draw your navel into the spine, lift your heart. Take another breath in. Slowly come down. Step back with the left foot. Bring your knees down. Lower all the way down to your belly. Hands alongside the chest. Inhale, cobra pose. Legs are active, abs are active. Yes, they are. And gently lay yourself back down. Tuck the toes under and press the floor away. From here, walk. Walk the hands back, lift the knees, and we're in down dog. From your downward facing dog, walk your hands back. Bring the hands and feet together until you're standing on your feet folded over your toes. Arms can be however they like. You might fold the arms. You might let them hang. You might have the hands on your legs. Do check in with your neck. See that your neck, your jaw are long, relaxed. That the breath can flow in and out. Now when you're ready, root down into your feet. Zip up your belly. Slowly come up to stand. Press the heels. Stand tall. When you are ready, inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, fold down. Ardha Surya Namaskar, half sun salute. Fold down as low as you want. Come halfway up. Root into the feet, lift the navel, and lengthen out. Lengthen out almost so it feels precarious when you're in this halfway position. Like if you lengthened any more forward, you might start to tip forward. It's right when you're on the verge of that you can really get the legs active as well. And the abs. Fold down low. And press into your feet. Slowly come up to stand. Circle your arms around you. Hands to your heart. And we do that again. Root down into the earth. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold down. All the way up we go. Press into the heels. Zip up your belly. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more time. Root down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold low. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold low again. Press down to rise up. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. All right, release the arms. And from here, we're going to come down onto our mats, kind of on our knees, but before you get settled down low, if the floor feels hard and you want a blanket or you want to like double over your mat, make a little extra bit of padding for your knees, go ahead and do that. We'll be kneeling for a little bit. Now this next pose can benefit from having something nearby, a wall or a chair to press into. So I'm going to we'll grab this and use the chair seat. And then I'll kind of use an imaginary wall if you've got a wall handy instead of a chair. So remember that as we were talking about back bends just a little bit ago, part of what we need, like structurally, is that the stretchiness to open the front, but we also need the structural integrity and the strength on the back so those muscles learn to contract and hold us there rather than to think that they should rest long, which is what a number of them will do when we're rounded this way. So using our support, whatever it is, and it can really be a variety of heights, so whatever you've got, if you've got a desk nearby or the arm of a couch or whatever is handy in your vicinity or a file cabinet or whatever it might be, if you come up and you're kneeling, and take a moment to check that your thigh bones are upright. Like imagine you can be your own x-ray machine. Thigh bones as upright as possible, kneeling. Zip up the belly, engage your glutes, and use your hands on whatever surface that is to, while you're aware of your feet, tops of the feet and the shins, kind of pressing into your mat. While you're zipping up your belly and engaging your glutes, your hands are pressing down into that surface in a way that helps lift your chest. As long as it helps lift your chest and gives you space. It's not lifting your chest and pushing you back. It's not lifting your chest and making your low back crunchy. It is lifting the chest and making space. So take a few breaths there. Shins and tops of the feet. Press down as your foundation. Lift the navel and give your glutes a squeeze. That'll support the middle floor of this pose. And lift the heart and let the shoulders broaden, the collarbones widen a bit. Now very gently, come back to upright and have a seat. If it's comfortable to sit directly on your heels, do that. If that's not comfortable, grab your blocks and sit on them, or swing your legs out and sit on the mat directly. Breathe here. Kind of suss things out. See how this all feels. Now before we do the second round, I'll show, if you happen to be using something that's a little taller, you can also use a wall. I'll just move myself into position so you see what that might look like. So it's the same
engagement, the foundation and the glutes and the abs, but the hands instead will be on the wall. And it's that sense, like when we did the cactus arm sphinx on the floor. Instead of like pulling the floor back, we're pulling the wall down to lift the chest up. So if you've got something higher, use that. It might be a ledge, it might be a wall. And if the object in front of you is low, use your hands on that and push as we did before. So one more round. Either way, use what you've got around you. Shins press down, navel lifts in and up, glutes are engaged, heart is open, collarbones are wide, and your head is wherever your neck wants it. Check and see, can you still breathe? And especially if your head is leaning back some, can you la 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 la? Nobody's listening. Well, except for, well, I'm not even listening. I can't hear you. Make sure you can make some sound. If all of a sudden it's like la 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 la, your head's too far back. All right, come on, back up. And gently bring yourself to neutral. Bring your spine to neutral. Have a seat. Take a few breaths. We'll do this one more time. Since 3 is auspicious, same thing as before, anchoring our foundation and lifting up from there. So come on up onto the shins. Find your surface that you're using, your wall, your chair, your desk, your whatever. Press the tops of the feet and the shins down into the mat. Give your glutes a squeeze and lift your belly button in and up. Lift your chest. Broaden your collarbones. Keep pressing the hands into that surface or pulling the hands down the wall. Breathe here. Head and neck go where they want to go. Lifted and long in the front body, engaged and awake in the back body. Now, since this is our last one, if you would like to raise your arms and make some cactus arms in the air, swing your elbows a little forward and tip your hands a little back. Ooh, what's that like? Or hands behind your head, like we did earlier. Just see, what's it like? What's it like? And then very gently, start to come up. Bring your spine back to neutral, meeting up together, upright. Ease yourself away from your wall or chair and swing your legs out. Stretch your legs out, swing the feet. While the legs are stretched out, let's take the opportunity to do a forward bend. So sit tall, breathe, and just see. Explore, see, feel, and sense. As your torso starts to tilt forward, what do you notice? If there's a lot of stretch in the backs of the legs, you might already be in the appropriate spot to stay and play that edge. Listen to the sensation in the body. Remember, our yoga practice is an opportunity to develop our interior knowledge and wisdom, an opportunity to befriend ourselves. It actually has not that much to do with just stretching the hamstrings, although you see that a lot. But know that you can have super tight hamstrings and a very profound yoga practice. Maybe you feel some stretchiness in the low back. Again, check in. What's the intensity level like? If it feels like you're really being pulled hard, dial it back. Play your edges.
the ones you feel inside your body right now. Take the, take the most generous breath you can while you're here. Check in with the neck and the jaw. Now slowly, gently, press up to seated. Take your time. While we're sitting upright, bend the right knee. I'm going to move this chair out of the way, but you're going to bend your right knee and take it out to the side. Bring the sole of the right foot up against the other leg, setting up for Janu Shirsasana. So if you have a bathrobe tie or yoga belt, you can always use that for this pose. It can help to create a connection between the arms and the straighter leg that we're moving toward. And if your knee is like, yeah, I don't know about this, and it wants a little something to shore things up and support it, then put your block or blanket underneath there. Sit tall. The straight leg, knee is facing the ceiling, the foot is flexed, and the toes are facing the ceiling as well. Hug in, lengthen, and start to come forward out over the straight leg. And again, turn your inner listening on and notice what you feel. Feeling this in the back of the straight leg or in the hip of the other leg or somewhere else. Deep breath. If there are any tricky spots that are feeling aggravated by this, like you feel it's something sudden and sharp, or it's, what you're feeling is like in your joint, your knee or your hip, dial it back a little. Sometimes it's really helpful to come up fully out of the pose and then go in again more slowly to listen for those edges. And once you've found some of those edges, stay right there and breathe. Relax the shoulders, let the back of the neck be long. And walk the hands back in. Use your hand to gather your knee up and then straighten out the legs. Take a moment to move the legs and feet around. And we switch. Bend the left knee, take it out to the side. So sometimes if the hamstrings are quite tight, the edge in this pose will be found looking like you're not tilted forward, which is completely fine. So the way that the pose looks from the outside in terms of how vertical your torso is not what we're aiming for. We're not going to match the shape. We're listening inside the body for the sensation. So as you sit tall, you might start to come forward. Let the sensations you notice in your body on this side be your teacher, be your guide. And breathe. Sometimes in these asymmetrical poses, It will shine a light on an area that maybe be tighter on one side than the other. So notice what you feel right here, right now, and work with that. Explore that. Take a couple more breaths. And slowly, gently, ease back to upright. Gather the left knee in with your hand. Stretch the legs out and the whole legs one more time. Swing them in and out and in and out. You can bonk your toes together if you want. That's optional. It's like an added bonus. All right. While we're upright, let's take a twist. We'll come back to the left leg stretched out, the right knee bent, this time with the foot flat and the knee upright. If your foot is so close that it's touching your other leg, step it away. Give yourself some room. And find a spot for the foot that's flat on your mat where it feels like you can press down and like stand on it. And standing on the foot helps your spine get a little taller. And breathe. Now from here, keep the right hand on the left leg. The other arm goes back a little behind you. Lean back. Yeah, it looks very casual. Opposite hand goes to the knee. The other arm goes back. Now, this will be different if you're choosing the open twist. So it is up to you. If you're doing the twist toward the bent knee, it's opposite hand to the knee. Everybody lean back and then twist toward the bent knee. From there, then explore how upright the spine can be. The tilt of the spine is actually our way of giving some slack to the back of the thigh on the straight leg so that we can sit up tall. So it doesn't take away from the twist at all, just in case you're concerned. And if you're doing the open twist, of course, it would be the same leg or the same arm to the leg. Breathe while you're here. Where is your body making contact with your mat or the floor? Root those areas down and lengthen upward, outward. If you want, look over the shoulder. See that your shoulders are down away from the ears and the back of the neck is long. No need to force the twist. And take a few of the deepest breaths possible in the twist. Just feel the effect that the twist has on where the breath can go and how it feels when you take a deep breath. Very gently, ease yourself back out of the twist and we switch. Switch legs. And again, decide. If you did the open twist on side one, do it again on side two, otherwise opposite hand to the leg. And from sitting tall, lean a bit back. Give yourself that extra room so your spine can be incredibly long. Initiate the twist here. Then negotiate with your hamstrings. So as you start to come up more vertical,
Notice if there's any like pull where the pelvis wants to tuck under or the back of the straight leg feels pulled on. If either of those things are happening, keep the backward lean. It's doing its job. Let the back of the neck be long, shoulders melt down away from the ears. Looking over the shoulder if you want. And then explore. What does it feel like to exaggerate the inhale here? You might notice areas that are constricted first. Also notice where is there room. Take 2 more breaths. Very gently unwind. And bend both knees and slowly lower yourself down onto your back. You might use it as ab work if you want extra abs, or lie down any way you like. Once you're all the way down, hug your knees to your chest and rock side to side. Nice and easy now. Side to side. Touch the feet down on the mat. Heel toe the feet mat width or wider. Arms open wide. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. That's it, good. Leave the knees over on one side. Take a few deep breaths. Tip the knees to the other side. Take a few breaths. Gently come back to center. Walk the feet in a little bit. And if you have a block or a blanket nearby, we'll take a supported bridge pose. So as you lie down with the knees bent and the feet flat, find your object of choice. When in doubt, go lower with the support until your body becomes accustomed to it, and then you can add height. It's not a contest, right? So take your block or your blankets and slide the support so that it is right at the bony plate of the sacrum, the back of the pelvis. I like to have my if I'm using a block, I like to have it go across so it covers the whole sacrum and the SI joints. For me, it feels like that gives extra stability to the pelvis. Some people like it turned the other way, and it's completely fine. It really is what your body says yes to. So if it's in there and it's one way and your body's like, no, 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 no,
Try it another way. You can stay here, or lift one foot at a time off the mat, bending the knees. Make sure your support is really stable as you're raising the legs. This is like a testing spot, right? If something feels off, touch the feet down, readjust. And once you're reset, then, if you like, take the legs up in the air. You can always leave the knees very bent, a little bent, or straighten them out if that's comfortable. And breathe. Now we're creating a very gentle long back bend. Instead of lifting behind the chest with support, our support is lower down. But while you're here, bring your arms in, kind of like toy soldier arms, upper arms in close to the body, elbows bent, and then press your upper arms, press your triceps down into the mat in a way that gives you a sense that the chest is a bit more spacious or a bit more lifted. See how that feels. And then relax the arms. Let them rest wherever they want. As you continue to breathe into the gentle spaciousness across the upper chest. Back bends can lift our spirits or our energy. Inversions can give us a feeling of being refreshed, replenished, or sometimes having a change of perspective. You don't have to believe it because your yoga teacher said it. Notice what's true in your body at this moment. You might stay a few more breaths. You might choose to come down earlier. When you are ready, the knees bend slowly. Zip up the belly so you have some nice structural support. Touch the toes down on one foot first and then the other foot. You're back in your bridge pose. Settle in and land there. And from bridge pose, press into your feet. Lift your hips. Lower back down. Keep the support underneath you. We're going to do one last little thing before Shavasana. Stretch one leg out. Now the leg might be very comfortable straight, or it might be like, ooh, that's a lot. And then stretch the other leg out. If it's really intense, you might alternate or stretch the leg to a whatever degree of straightness is tolerated. My hip flexors are really tight, so this is where I feel really challenged. And most days I'll do one leg at a time. You're inside your body. You choose. When you're ready, bend the knees, place both feet flat, return to your bridge pose. Press into your feet. Squeeze the glutes, lift them up off the support, move the support, and slowly curl down and down and down and down and down. When you're all the way down, take a moment, just feel. Before hugging the knees, just feel. How's your back feel? How's your body feel right now? and then happy baby. Draw the knees in, knees are wide, feet are lightly flexed. Rock. Now, as you're ready, stretch out for Shavasana. If there's something else you'd like to add, you can do that briefly. If you like support under the knees or anywhere else for the body, take that. As you inhale, squeeze every muscle, hold it tightly. We'll only do this once. And exhale, let it all go. Feel the support of the earth beneath you. Let your heart blossom open to sky above. Easy in the neck, the shoulders, the jaw. Easy breath in and out. As you're ready, deepen the breath. And feel free if you'd like to extend your Shavasana to stay here. And if you're ready to rise, start to move and stretch and yawn. Reawakening the body, lengthening the body. And as you head over to one side, you'll pause. And back to the other side. And press up when you're ready to a seated position. And bring your hands palm over palm, right and over the heart center.
Lift the heart, lower the chin. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you be strong. May your hearts remain open. Thank you. Namaste. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Anne. Thank you.